Murder Drones, a original TV series, I guess you could call it that, made by Glitch Production. And to be honest, I'm probably just gonna have the rest of my videos be based off of the things that Glitch has made. So anyway, Murder Drones time. Starts off with this girl named Uzi, and she's basically telling us how robots got to where they currently are. She is related to a group of mining robots that came here a long time ago under a company and also some human workers. The human workers basically themselves out of accident, and the robots took over and created their own society. The company that created these minor robots didn't like that, so they sent out specialized droids to kill them. So the robots decided to barricade themselves out of, well, basically going outside for protection against getting mobile. So then we go back to Uzi, who is explaining all of this to us through a school presentation. She brings out a railgun, and that scares the ever-living shit out of everyone in their class. We meet this character named Thad, who talks to Uzi a bit about her dad. Uzi blabs about going to the murder drone's place and stealing some to upgrade their gun and probably kill all the murder drones. So later on, Uzi sneaks out of their home by stealing her dad's keys. Anyway, so she gets jump scared by her dad. Uzi makes up a lie about wanting to check the quality of the doors. We watch his dad almost mow the door and also rambles on a bit about Uzi's mom being killed by murder drones, and then gives Uzi his wrench. Uzi walks around the barren, snowy land of dead people and robots. She sees a tower of corpses. She goes inside of this weird tower and sees the landing pod for the murder drones. She finds like a battery or whatever, like this weird glowing green battery. Then she hides from N, who is a murder drone. She doesn't hide well enough, and so she gets caught by N. Uzi quickly rips apart the gun and puts in the battery. Anyway, so N is currently attacking Uzi. N stabs Uzi's hand with his tail, which has some weird form of very corrosive acid. And Uzi hits N with the gun, and because, it's supercharged with the battery, it just goes kaplooey. But N's not dead, only his head's gone. His head quickly regenerates out of this weird black liquidy goo, and he also has this weird error flashing. When Uzi hits N in the face with an arm, he's confused for a bit, and then just starts talking like they're not enemies. And this is where he introduces himself to Uzi. And he also talks about the other crew members. He also says that he can't remember the past 3 hours of his life. Uzi says she has to go, but then she realizes that, oh no, the palm of her hand still fucking hurts. And says that their saliva should just be able to neutralize the nanites that are corroding away at. Uzi suggests that they go inside the landing pod, and inside of there, she shoves her hand into N's mouth to neutralize the nanites. While they were inside of the landing pod, N talks about the other two members in their squad, one of them being V, one of the disassembly drones, who looks like a sociopathic murderer, which, yeah, it makes sense. That kind of is their job. Well, also in this like little weird flashback, V is just ignoring N. Then he talks about J. J is the leader of the group and is also the local company. Uzi realizes that the landing pod is actually a spaceship. Uzi and N were talking a bit, and Uzi questions as to why N even kills droids in the first place, and he basically says that he needs to do so, like a vampire, to even stay alive. He just says that he wants to be useful, and Uzi just says that, look at all the respect it's gotten you. Uzi says that the company is probably just going to dispose of him as soon as he stops being useful. Once the other two came back, Uzi just disappeared. Jay, after hitting N with an arm, reboots him, and he finally remembers talking to Uzi and actually seeing that Oh shit, she was a worker drone. And goes to chase Uzi, and the others are suspicious of him, so they're gonna follow him, but they're just gonna let him do all the work. And once Uzi came back and tried to close the door, N was right there and prized the door right open, showing off that, yeah, no, these murder drones are really strong. N manages to get all of the doors open and just starts murdering everyone. Uzi's gun manages to cool down enough to be used again, and Uzi's dad comes right in to see all the chaos that's happening. And by the way, he's positioned right behind the last door and breaks right in and is in the middle of Uzi and her dad. And right before killing Uzi, N says, "I'm sorry," and that he was actually having fun talking to her. And then N stabs Uzi. The gun gets thrown to Uzi's dad. Uzi just says to grab the gun and shoot it at N, and Uzi's dad just closes the door. This makes N, stop being all murdery for a second. The other two finally catch up. N throws Uzi, who isn't dead yet, around into a corner. V goes up into the ventilation shafts to, continue killing. Right before Jay is about to fly off, N just says, "Hey, do you know what the company's gonna do with us after we're done with all of this?" And for questioning the company, Jay just stamps a virus onto N, and this virus just paralyzes N. Jay flies off, and N is basically crippled. Uzi comes back, picks up her gun. After trying to leave, Uzi realizes that she needs N's help, so she decides to take out the virus. N joins Uzi's side after being freed from the virus. So V and J were basically about to start killing everyone inside the colony, and Uzi and N are there, and they have this big fight. So V is fighting N, and J is currently fighting Uzi. J uses EMP and disables Uzi, and temporarily knocks out V to try and save Uzi. While J was blabbing on, Uzi takes the tail that they have, because that's where all the venom and whatever comes in, and stabs Jay. So Uzi grabs her gun and just ices Jay. Almost her entire body's gone. V's arms are basically disabled, so that's why she's not fighting back anymore. And Uzi are, I don't know, celebrating or whatever. So Uzi confronts her dad and just says that she banishes herself and just decides to follow her, because why not? And also takes V. They leave Jay's corpse in there, by the way. And while they were outside, and says that he'd join Uzi if the sun didn't kill him, which means that they're basically vampires. They drink what the equivalent of blood is, and they can't go out in the sun, so they're basically vampires. OZ decides to come up with a plan to kill humans because yay. And right before the video ends, we see 3 different landing pods. And that is the end of this episode. I actually really like this one because, I like how they introduced Uzi as a character and is just a guy who's getting bullied. And yeah, that's basically it. See you next episode. Easy.